Hi everyone, this is Patty with Patty Life Coach. How are you this evening, everyone? Whoever's listening to this podcast, it's always great to be here again. So this time I have a very, very special guest, as I always do. I always have special guests that are actually mean a lot to me. So in this case, it's going to be about a very, very interesting topic. Are you excited?
I am.
Perfect. So today we're gonna be speaking and sharing. I'm gonna be having some great dialogue and basically kind of wanted to know. So this is kind of interesting. That I always have always wondered, how is it that a single parent, gets to be in charge of children, of their own children by themselves. So that is the topic today. So I'm very, very excited because I have like I mentioned, have this special guest, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and tell us something a little bit about herself, and then from there we can move on and just kind of do the dialogue and just have fun. So in this case, if you would like to introduce yourself and
Sure. So my name is Karen, and I am the parent of three young ladies, all girls. And now I'm a grandma too, but yes, but I have.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So I have. I've been a single parent, since my youngest was 1. She's 20 now. So
Wow.
I've been a single parent pretty much their whole entire lives.
Mhm.
It's not something that you plan for, and you just basically have to do the best you can. You can either learn from your mistakes and just grow from there, and that's what we did.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Karen. I know this is going to be, um, it's going to be a very learning experience for myself.
Mhm.
I can say myself that I've gone through a similar process.
Mhm.
But I would like to know a little bit more as to, you mentioned about, and by the way, congratulations for being a grandma.
Thank you.
How does it feel before we move to be the single parent? How does it feel to be a grandma?
You know what?
Very briefly, because obviously I don't want to, focus.
Everybody that I've talked to, they always say that being a parent and being a grandparent is completely different.
Okay.
And I feel it because being a parent, you love your kids unconditionally, but then, being a grandparent, I don't know. All the no's that you said to your kids, to your own kids, they kind of go out the window with your grandkids. You kind of spoil them, and I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I love it.
I bet. Okay, well, thank you so much once again.
Yeah.
Congratulations for being a grandma.
Thank you.
Going back to our topic,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So you mentioned of being a mom of 3 beautiful daughters, which I know. They're very beautiful and they look like you.
Oh, thank you.
They're so brave. They're so courageous. I mean, honestly, I the only thing I can say is I have true admiration for these ladies. The way they carry themselves, the way they talk, the way that the time that I've known them, it's very amazing to see that being, like in your case, a single parent, how positive, how you carry yourself in such a beautiful way. And I know that a lot of single parents do that, but I was so eager to, I kept, actually, let me just tell you a little secret. I kept insisting. I kept insisting. I said, please let me do a podcast with you, because it's just the fact of knowing her story, knowing the things that we've shared, in the sense of all the things that she has gone through. Obviously, we're not going to go into lengthy, right? Because always mention that I try to do the podcast as more short and with great information. But just a little bit moving to going back to having your 3 princesses. I'm not going to say princesses because I have a princess, you have 3 princesses. So going back a little bit on your 3 princesses, So you mentioned that your youngest, you became single when she was 1 years old,
Mhm.
and now she's 20 years old.
Mhm.
Karen, do tell me or share, how did you do it? Like, first of all, we're gonna go through phases, but let's talk about mostly. I think that it's a lot of, and I'm gonna be straightforward. Sometimes I believe that when it comes to, I had a video actually, I had a podcast, I made a video previously where I spoke about, sometimes couples that don't work out, and sometimes they tend to stay together
Mhm.
for the sake that they say for their children, but they don't, sometimes they don't realize that the children do get somehow hurt within that relationship, right?
It's true.
So then a lot of people stay for fear, or like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it out there.
Mhm. That was me.
I have three or two one children, and I don't know how I'm gonna make it. It's fear.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
scared. It's like, what do I do now? And then sometimes being in a relationship that sometimes you don't know, it's not working out sometimes, right?
No, it's true. And you hit the nail on the head. That was me. I knew it was not working out. I knew it in my heart. I knew that it was not the best thing. It was not the healthiest. But I was also scared, because I have three little ones.
Yes.
I had
1
three
year
little
old.
ones, and I had just started my job. I think at that time, I had been with my employer for maybe 3-4 years, so not very long, and I was earning minimum wage with
Wow.
three little mouths to
Ah.
feed, diapers,
Oh my gosh.
medical, everything. So I didn't think I would be able to do it. It was very, very hard. And then the time came when basically I just had to leave, and I left with my three kids.
Wow, Karen.
It was one of the most hardest things. Oh my God. It was one of the hardest decisions I ever made in my life, Um, but at now looking back, it was one of the hardest, but it was also one of the best decisions that I made, for not just myself, but for my girls. My thing has always been to make sure that my kids always see me strong. You never want to see your kids see you weak. You never want to see your kids think that, mom's struggling or mom can't do it, So that was my biggest thing, is always making sure that I did the best I could, so that one day my girls could just look back and be like, oh my gosh, mom
Yes.
did that. We did that.
Yes.
So,
and Karen, I know that years have gone by, and I see that at the end of the day, you still get emotional because it's hard, like you mentioned. And I really sympathize with you, and I really would like for you to share. Um, you kind of shared the hard moment. Would you be able to share with us like a situation of a challenge that you had? Just one of them, and that you kind of stands out and says, well, this was one of the struggles that I actually, or challenges that I went through. That's the first question.
yeah.
And the second question that I would like to know is, how did you keep yourself so brave in front of your girls and without them seeing your suffering? So I know, let's start with the first question. What was the biggest, or which one you believe you would be considered? Just give us, if you would like to share just one situation where you felt like that was one of your struggles that kind of stands out.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard to pick one,
Mm,
because we had several.
yeah. Okay. Yes.
We had um, several times when it was very difficult. But one of the things that I can say is one thing that I showed my girls growing up is no matter what, this is your family. This is whom you look out for. This is whom you take care of. For instance, one of the things that stands out most to me is my youngest. She was a year old. She had, what was it? Baby asthma.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she had baby asthma. She had to have breathing treatments. She had to use albuterol, and as a baby, as a 1 year old and having breathing treatment, it was very scary for her, having this machine being put in
Yes.
your face and telling, just having it kind of like blow the steam in your face. It was scary for her.
Yeah.
And I just remember her sisters, just holding it for her
Mm.
and just telling her, it's okay, mama, it's okay.
Wow.
And they were little, they were all very little, but the fact that we would all come together and we work together, help each other out. That was one of the things that we always did. And to this day, we still do,
Yes.
instilling in them that families will struggle, families will fight, families will have disagreements,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, this is our family.
Mm. Yes.
And,
Absolutely.
so at the end of the day, this is, we're not going to be perfect,
Yes.
but these are your sisters. At home, you can fight, you can call each other names, you can, hit each other. But outside of this house, it was very important for me to make them understand that outside of this house, you take care of one another.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not always going to be there to do that. So my thing for them was you always have to take care of one another. And to this day, I think they do a wonderful job.
Yes.
So
They do. I am
Right?
witness of that. I'm so witness.